Hey Pros, I'm Kaitlyn.
And I'm Kynedy.
We're best friends and hosts of Rowan University's newest podcast where we highlight the different ways to get involved with the 200 plus clubs on campus. This is ClubChat. Kynedy, I have a joke for you.
Oh, really? What's the joke?
Why was the climber upset?
I don't know why.
Because he was between a rock and a hard place.
Anyway, to recover from that joke, we have the pleasure of sitting here with the vice president of the Rock Climbing Club. So let's get into it. Today for our next episode, we have the privilege of sitting down with the vice president of the Rock Climbing Club, Tyler Hoilien. Tyler here is a senior here at Rowan University, and he is a world religions and African studies double major with a concentration in queer theory. Tyler, we're happy to have you here.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Can you please tell us a little bit more about yourself?
I'm Tyler Hoilien. I'm from South Jersey. I've gone here for about 4 years. I'm really interested in rock climbing, but also like surfing, and like I used to skate a lot when I was younger. What else? I like philosophy and religion, but I feel like it comes from my majors. Yeah. I don't have a lot to tell, I guess, but climbing is surfing is probably like the two biggest things that I do, I guess. Yeah.
When did you get into surfing?
Like over the summer, me and my friends bought like some just like, like really crappy boards or whatever. Just got really into it. Spent a lot of time over the summer just like surfing and stuff like that. We got like wetsuits and I don't know. It's a whole thing, but it's just, I don't know. When you're out there, it's really, really calm and really fun.
I'm scared of the ocean. If I'm putting it out there, like,
no, I 100%.
Yeah. The waves hit you hard.
Not even the waves, just what's underneath. Like,
I don't
want no shark to come in. Like,
it'd be the jellyfish. Right?
I remember one time I saw like a dead like jellyfish like just sprawled out like on the sand.
Oh my God.
During like one of my family vacations. I was like, I'm going home. Didn't know where home was, but because we were there for a couple of days, I was like, I'm going anywhere else but here. Like,
what beach was that? That's crazy. Do you remember?
We normally went to Ocean City during like family trips.
Sorry, I went there a lot as a kid.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, like that's normal.
Yeah, wait, Ocean City, New Jersey, right? Yeah, me too. That's mainly we'll go surfing there, but mainly it's in Wildwood is where we'll go for the most part.
See, I never been to Wildwood, like Cape May, like LBI, like none of that.
Cape May, you're not really missing out on anything, at least in my opinion. Wildwood can be kind of cool and kind of fun. Just imagine like
the boardwalk.
Imagine like because Ocean City, I feel like is like a, I guess people say like family friendly or whatever. Like it's much more toned down. Like Wildwood, I guess is like much more for like you can definitely tell it's for older people and things like that. Yeah, both are fun though. Yeah. All
right. So your next question is, what led you to choose Rowan University?
If I could just be honest, so I originally came here for mechanical engineering. And so when I applied to 3 schools, Oklahoma University, Stockton University, and Rowan had the best engineering program, and it was in the area. So
nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
As the vice president, what does the role entail, and what are your main responsibilities within the Rock Climbing Club?
Most of it's like organizing trips and like organizing meetings and leading meetings and I guess leading trips and stuff like that. It's yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of struggles as a club, especially like in the past recent years. So most of our job has mainly just been like trying to get out there as much as possible and like having as many meetings as possible and trying to just get people interested in climbing or just interested in the club at all. So yeah, it's mainly just been around meetings. Yeah.
So what type of trips have you guys been on?
Mainly just climbing trips. So like if you know Wissahickon Park in Philadelphia. Okay, it's just like it's a park in like West Philly. It's near like Germantown and Manayunk kind of thing. You know where that is? Okay. Yeah. And so there's actually some really good climbing there, and there's some really good boulders, and so we've organized a trip to there, and that was just like a really fun, just kind of like a day trip of just getting to climb and go around the park. And then there's also another place we've gone to, and I go to there a lot. It's an old quarry in Birdsboro, Pennsylvania, that they like have blasted this like huge thing into, but they allow climbing there because it hasn't been an active quarry in a while. So yeah, we've gone there a bunch, and that's like rope climbing. Yeah, where like the stuff in Wissahickon Park is like you just need like pads kind of thing because it's not really all that high. Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
But yeah.
So you touched on this a little bit with like your trips and stuff, but what other events or activities does the club normally do for its members?
Our biggest thing is like every week, like usually Mondays and Fridays, we'll go to a climbing gym nearby. It's called Elite Climbing, and they have bouldering, and they also have rope climbing indoors. So that's like the biggest thing we do as a group, just because like obviously like climbing is going to be the main thing.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while we'll have like general meetings kind of thing, like on campus, and discuss like future events. Like we had one very recently where we kind of like had all the gear, and people who were newer, we explained to them like, oh, like what is this? How do you use it?
Right.
And like, because even people within our club who've been climbing for a while don't do anything with ropes or anything. So it was kind of like a nice crash course for them to learn how to do rope climbing and stuff. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Where does the club rock climb? Like
So-
indoors or outdoors?
So mainly it's indoors at Elite Climbing, just because it's not necessarily the closest, but it's the cheapest place we can get. And that's like a really big thing we've been trying to stress is like affordability, because rock climbing can become expensive very quickly. But they give us like good deals and everything, and we have like free passes for people who want to just come out and try it for the first time.
Nice.
So Elite Climbing is like the main indoor place. And then I mentioned them with the trips, like bouldering in Wissahickon Park and rope climbing at Birdsboro Climbing Quarry is like, I guess those are the places I go, I guess an individual, even outside of the groups and everything. So like, since I'm, vice president, that's where a lot of the trips are going to be, just like the places that I know. There are a couple other places I don't know them as well, kind of thing. But yeah, so Elite Climbing and then Wissahickon and Birdsboro.
Sounds cool.
Nice. So what's your favorite place that you've been to like rock climb, or like your dream destination?
My dream destination, I kind of have two, is Red River Gorge, which is in Kentucky. And basically, like, people say that it's the best sport climbing in the world. I mean, someday in the world, someday in the U.S. But it's just, like, all of the climbs are really long and really overhung. So, like, if you fall at any point, there's never any worry of, like, you hitting rocks below you or anything, because you just kind of fall into space. Yeah, and it's like it's all this big overhung stuff. So like every hold is like really good, and it's just kind of all about like strength. I don't know. I'm gonna go there soon, and then
How tall are these?
Yeah.
It depends on the route, but like out there, it's probably like 80 feet kind of thing. So it's not that bad.
So what are you falling onto?
Ropes. So like,
Oh.
so you
Oh,
wear
okay,
so you
okay.
wear a harness. I can explain.
Yeah. Because I'm getting nervous.
Fine. So you wear this harness around your waist. I'm trying to do this the best way possible, but so you wear this harness around your waist, and this is like you have these areas here where you tie a rope into, and then you use these things. These are called quick draws. And when you do sport climbing, which is what I was talking about in Red River Gorge, when you show up, there are these bolts that have been screwed into the rock or stuff has been glued in, and you clip this part to the wall, and then you clip your rope into here. And so you bring the rope up with you when you fall. But so if you fall here, basically. So
Okay.
Yeah. So
All
like
right.
you just fall whatever distance is in between your last clippings kind of thing.
Okay, I was confused.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
thought you climb
Just
up, and if you
fall.
fall, like that's wraps.
I'm like, is there water down below?
I mean, there
or-
are people that do that. Like, I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Free Solo. That was like a
Yeah.
really big movie that came out a couple years ago, but where he climbed El Capitan, which is like 3,000 feet tall, and he did it without a rope. So there are people that do it, and a lot of times it's like try to show like your mastery of the climb or anything like that. We do not recommend that or endorse it in any way at the Rowan Rock Climbing Club. You should always have a rope and always try to be safe, but that is a thing people do. But when you go sport climbing, for the most part, like that's like the safest form because everything's drilled in. But yeah, Red River Gorge, and then also I really want to go to Yosemite, which is a lot of times people call it like the Mecca of rock climbing, especially in the United States, because like it just has these just ginormous mountains and walls that are just like it's perfect climbing from bottom to top, and it's like 3,000 feet high and stuff like that. Like it's
That look-y sound fun though.
Yeah.
I'm
It
just
sounds
scared of
fun. Like I'll watch, but
I'm just scared of heights.
yeah.
But like what's interesting about there is like instead of using like the pre-drilled bolts, actually I brought a couple here. You use these things. If I can get it off here. They're called like cams, and so you just kind of bring them down and then put it in the rock, and then it expands, and then when you fall, this catches you instead of like having a pre-drilled bolt kind of thing.
It's nice you guys have a lot of like safety like mechanisms
Yeah.
going. Like
Yeah, I mean that's safety is like the most important thing whenever you go rock climbing, because it's like, obviously, you know, there's a lot of danger that can happen. It can definitely heard a lot of, you know, horror stories from people and met a lot of people who have been injured in rock climbing. But, you know, safety is the number one priority when you're out there.
Yeah. I have a question.
Yeah.
So which one do you prefer, this one or the bolts?
Definitely the bolts, because I've actually only done one climb with these, and it was one of the scariest things I've ever done in my life.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it can be really scary, especially if you're on a route that isn't used a lot, because there can be a lot of overgrowth, or there can be, like, in my case, there was a lot of thorns that were there. We actually didn't even finish the climb. It was a whole ordeal. But yeah, I mean, think about it. Like, it's just like, I'm just putting this into rock, and I just have to, like, trust it. It can be really freaky. And that's the other thing too, is like, when you go to the place with the drilled bolts, those bolts are going to be like a specific distance apart from each other, so you're never falling that much. But with these, like, you don't really know where your next placement's going to be. So you could be, like, you know, 10 feet, 15 feet above, like, your last one of these. So if you fall, you're falling 30 feet, like 30, 20 feet. And, like, yeah, I mean, the ropes are great. They'll protect you. It probably won't hurt too much. But, you know, it's still scary, especially if, like, there's rock below you or something. But, yeah, like, obviously, like, when we're going with the club, this isn't really something we do with new people. Mainly we'll just go to, like, a sport climbing place, or we'll go just to a bouldering place where, you know, there's nothing above, like, 10 feet kind of thing. But, I mean, I don't know. I like this stuff a lot. I really like climbing really high. And
that's so cool, though.
Yeah, it can be fun.
I don't know. I might be watching. Watching from the sideline.
No, I 100% get it, yeah.
So how does your club support beginners who are new to rock climbing?
The biggest thing is try to give them as many, like, financial opportunities as possible, because, like I said, it can get expensive. So we have, like, free passes at Elite Climbing. We have we have subsidized memberships to where it's if you're a member of the club, they're $30 a month, which for rock climbing is really, really good, because most gyms is like $100 a month kind of minimum. That's like a pretty standard number. So, like, economic support is a really big deal, but also we try to help as much as possible. So, like, if you have, like, questions and stuff, and obviously we go as a big group, so, like, you're going to be climbing with people who have different skill levels, and people can give you advice, and, like, we call it beta, where it's just like I guess, like, advice about how to do the climbs and everything. So yeah, we try to just give as many opportunities to go rock climbing as humanly possible, because that's what this whole thing's about.
Right. And then what has been the club's biggest accomplishment, like, this year?
We did a competition at our local gym, and we got all three of the men's sections. We got podiums on all of them.
Oh,
so
nice.
in the beginner, we got second place. We won the intermediate category, and then in the advanced, I think we got top 5 or top 4.
That's good. Y'all are
Yeah,
good.
that's good. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we have some really, really good climbers in our group. It was just really fun. I'd never been to a competition before, so it was really fun. Like, you, like, grade yourself based off what you complete, and it was just cool to be with other people and be with the club and stuff. Yeah.
I had a question. So, like, how does the competition work? Like, what are they looking for?
So there isn't really, like, judges. It's more just like you show up to the gym and they've set a bunch of routes for you, and then whatever, like, so when you're bouldering, you use the thing to talk about the difficulty. It's called the V grade. And so it starts at V0, and then the hardest climb is, like, V17. It's, like, the hardest climb in the world. So, like, I climb at, like, V5 because I'm, not the best in the world. But these, basically, it's like whatever that number would be, you get 100 of it, and then, like, within that, if it's, like, a slightly harder one, they'll add more points. So, like, if it's, like, a V2, you'll get 200 points for it, and then at the end, what you do is you take all the climbs that you did, and you add all the numbers up, and just whoever has the highest number is the winner, kind of thing.
So cool.
Yeah.
How does the club encourage safe practices when climbing?
Watching everybody. The big thing, too, is we're not going to put you in an unsafe situation unless you understand what is going on. Because a big thing in climbing is, like, calculated risk, recognizing your own abilities compared to the difficulties or the scariness of a certain climb. So, like, when you're first coming out and you're first getting used to this, we're not going to put you into anything that, like, you can't handle. And the other thing, too, is, like, we really try to pride ourselves on, like, absolutely no judgment of, like, if you get too freaked out, or like, if you get too scared, and you want to back off, like, no one will make fun of you. No one will say anything because, like, it's a scary sport. Like, scary things happen, and we're trying to make as much of an understanding culture around justifiable fear in a situation. I mean, we're going to keep you on, like, top ropes, so, like, you won't be falling, like, any distance at all. Just keep you with bouldering, and we have plenty of pads. When you fall, you just fall into a pad, and it's nice and safe. And we have plenty of people spotting you and watching you, so you don't get hurt. And so, yeah, like, I think like no judgment is like the biggest thing to really stress. Yeah, not making fun of people or anything.
Yeah, I'm scared of heights.
Yeah, my knees will be buckling.
Yeah, but like
first inch going up.
100%. Like, but it's totally understandable. It happened to every single one of us when we started climbing. Like, if someone tells you they weren't scared, like, they're just lying. So yeah.
All right. And then, aside from being a member of Rock Climbing Club, are you involved in any other clubs or organizations on campus?
Yeah, I'm co-president of I guess we're not SGA chartered, but we've, like, had meetings. It's called, like, the Religion and Spirituality Club. So I started that up with a friend, Jake, who's a philosophy major. He was really interested in starting that, and since I work for the religion department and my degree is religion, he asked me to, like, be a part of it and help with it, so... Yeah, I guess I'm associated with that club.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to move into our next segment. It's called This or That, and it's rock climbing edition. So we're going to ask you a couple different questions related to rock climbing, and then you just choose which one you prefer the most.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, indoor climbing or outdoor climbing?
Outdoor climbing.
Oh, that was quick.
Sorry. Like 1,000,000% outdoor climbing. Because, like, it's free, and it can be really hard, but also really fun.
Oh, true, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so, like, where have you been, like, recently outdoor?
Birdsboro Quarry. I go there, like, every single weekend if it's not raining. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, bouldering or spot climbing?
Sport climbing is 100% what I prefer. That's where you have a
I
harness.
said spot.
It's sport. Yeah, it's fine. But that's 100% I prefer sport climbing. That's with this and the harness and the carabiners and everything. It's just, I really like being up high, and I think it's just really fun having, like, really long routes. And yeah, bouldering to me, like, I just kind of get hurt. Like my hands get messed up and everything, but I don't know. I don't find it as much fun. But obviously there's plenty of people in the club who see the exact opposite. So yeah.
So, all right. So the whole thing that's been going through my head this whole podcast is the rock climbing, but, like, the like kitty, like, rock climbing, like, that's what I've been thinking about this whole time. It's like, what's the difference between, like, bouldering and, like,
bouldering is just less height. So it's like a boulder,
Oh, like a literal, like, boulder.
Think about it like a literal boulder, like a big rock.
Shoot.
And so and
I was thinking about maybe that's.
I'm thinking like the different, like, they had the different colors. Like, you would put your hand in it, like, you. I'm like, okay, like.
Yeah, but anything that has a rope is not bouldering.
Okay.
Yeah, so, like, bouldering, it's generally below, like, 15 feet, and you have pads on the ground. There's plenty of boulders that are higher than that. They're called high balls, but, like, yeah, it's just like, imagine a big rock, and there's just a bunch of stuff on it you can kind of mess around with. But yeah, bouldering, you just use pads for the most part for when you fall.
And then your hands, it's just, you gotta find.
Yeah, you gotta find the holds and put places with your feet. I mean, usually, like, places you go, there's so much used that, like, there's just so much chalk on the wall, you can just kind of see everything that's going on. But yeah, just for boulders, a big rock.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's legit. Like,
well, I guess a mountain is a big rock if you really think about it, but that's whatever. Yeah.
All right, next one: crux or warm up route.
Interesting. That's such that's such an interesting use of the word crux. I guess I really like cruxing. Like, I like. Crux usually is applied to, like, the hardest part of a route, but I guess it can also mean a hard route too, because why not? Definitely I prefer try to go to your limits and like the hardest climbs possible. Also, because it's a lot less scary, because then you only are thinking about the climb you're doing and not about how far you're gonna fall or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll be thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'll literally be that person to, like.
You say that now, but, like, the second you start focusing on the rock, it's like the fear goes away. It's kind of weird, but it's cool.
Powder chalk or liquid chalk?
Powder chalk, like 1,000,000%. I've actually never used liquid chalk in my life, but I do not know a single person who uses liquid chalk, and I've never met anybody who uses liquid chalk. And, like,
I never even knew that was a thing.
Yeah, like, how does that go on?
I guess it's just like I think it's just like a cream you, like, kind of put on. And I don't want to judge anybody, but, like, definitely
my face the whole time.
if you pulled up with like just liquid chalk at a climbing gym or something, people would be like, "What are you doing?" Like it's like you would be really weird. It would but yeah, I mean that's not a reason to not do something, but it's definitely a situation of like I've never even seen it outside of like at a climbing store or something.
Yeah, when I did the gymnastics, I only had like powdered chalk. Like, that was like the only thing that was around. I didn't even think that they would have like
I wonder, do they even
liquid.
use
So is it harden up? Like how does that work?
Yeah, I don't know like how it's gonna end up like not like
I don't know. Yeah.
That's scary because I feel like that texture on your hand. I mean, I know you're like grabbing stuff, so you're not really gonna feel it. But
like the liquid chalk, and I don't know. I think just because it's liquid, that's what's throwing me off.
Yeah, like can you use too much of it and it makes it worse? Like
like is it gonna be slippery? Like I don't like I don't know. Like
I don't know. That sounds really weird. Yeah.
All right, the next one: vertical walls or overhangs.
Overhangs, because like mainly just because when you fall, it's not scary, or it's not as scary because then like you just kind of fall into space instead of possibly hitting the rock below you kind of thing. Because if it's vertical, like you can like scrape your knees and stuff on them, which I've done a million times. But it's just like it's much more fun when you have a big, at least to me, because other people like when it's vertical, there's a lot more technique involved and it's all about like balance. But like I really like it where it's just like kind of like purely strength and you're just kind of like powering through everything. And then also like the whole thing of like if I fall, it's not
that's
it's
like
not as much
back down.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be kind of fun though.
It
is.
is.
Falling is scary, but like
the falling gets fun when you get used to it. Yeah, it's scary like the first time, and then you just kind of like, all right, whatever. Like you're not falling more than like 10 feet, and it doesn't hurt. The rope catches you, and just like I don't know. I think it just gets fun.
How high have you gone up? Yeah. Do you know?
Like 30 meters is like 100 feet-ish. So like that's the highest route I've ever done. That's the highest route I've ever done is 100 feet. It was in this place. I don't even remember what it was called. Ralph Stover State Park is what it's called. It's in PA, I think. But yeah, they had this one just like huge route. It was so big that we were worried our ropes weren't. We were worried they might not have been long enough. So at like the second bolt, I tied a second rope so that way like if I only made it to there, I could have another rope I could just untie and tie into the other one. Yeah, it was.
Seems like a lot of multitasking too. Like when you think, like I don't think I would be able
to
like
get to one checkpoint, so you got to hold on, but you got to change stuff. Like
you got to balance. Like
I mean, it's a lot more stable than you would think, if I'm being honest, until you get to like the really hard stuff. But like a route like that was a 5-7. That's a really easy route. So just about every single position you're ever in, you can take a break and like think about it, kind of thing.
But for you,
yeah.
Were you ever scared of heights?
I'm still scared of heights.
Okay.
Oh,
like I mean, like I'm definitely scared of like. I think I've heard other climbers talk about how like you're not afraid of heights, you're afraid of falling, and like it's a thing that I'm getting better at and getting more used to, I guess. But like I'm scared of falling every single time. Like it can be fun and like when you do it, you're screaming a little bit and like you have a lot of adrenaline pumping, but like don't ever let anybody tell you it's not scary because it's scary. Like yeah.
So lead climbing or top rope climbing? Lead
climbing. I mean like. Top rope climbing is definitely like a thing you do in a gym or you do it to like work out a route. But like if you just did a route on top rope, no one would ever be like, yeah, you did that route. Like you kind of have to lead a route for it to be considered like you've really done it. I mean, that's a little bit of like, I guess an old school, like kind of like ethics of like saying like, oh, this is better than the other. But at the same time, it's kind of like, I don't know. Like, at least to me, it's like if I meet you and like, I've been like, yeah, I've done this really hard climb, but you did it on top rope. I'm definitely kind of like, oh, I don't really know how much that counts. But yeah.
All right. So the last one is climbing with music or in silence.
With music, like 100% with music. I also just like I'm kind of always listening to music, no matter what. I kind of always have headphones in, so I guess just like really the answer is everything with music.
Yeah.
But yeah, especially climbing with music, like, you can get some really good vibes going of just hanging out and just working things.
So what do you listen to exactly when you're climbing?
I listen to a lot of punk. I listen to a lot of metal. I listen to a lot of folk music as well, because like what I grew up listening to. Yeah, I've been getting into folk punk a lot really recently, and so yeah, that's like the main stuff I listen to, I guess. Or like like when you're climbing, like sometimes people will throw on like 70s like psychedelic music kind of, and it's like, I don't know, it's really fun to just hear like
a vibe. Yeah,
I feel like I don't need no words if I'm climbing.
Yeah, like it needs to be silent so I can focus. Like, you know, like when you when you driving, right, and then like you gotta like park into a spot, you gotta pull out and you gotta turn down music. Yeah, silence.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying, but like
or just anything with no words.
I get that. But
like the lo-fi.
You really want to create that like relaxing vibe.
Yeah,
I mean, even if you can just like focus on the music while you're climbing, it's like
I can't focus on. I need to.
Yeah, because if I got music like with lyrics or something, like literally, I'm focused on the wrong thing.
And everything I need stuff that I don't know, because I'll still start singing a song. No lyrics, like
whole time rope not attached to
something. Forget something.
Yeah, you should definitely always be present. But like, there's definitely moments where I'm just singing along and I'm just like just climbing. I don't know. You get.
That's fun.
I don't want to say you get complacent, because that's not the good term to use. You should always check for safety and everything like that. But like, there are definitely moments where like you've climbed a lot today, you've gotten more used to the situation, and you're just chilling the whole time, and it's great. I mean, those are the best moments. You can just like totally forget about everything that isn't just like what you're doing in the exact moment. Yeah, it's really nice.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
Do you? Because I'm a very clumsy person.
Yeah.
So like, do you ever feel like clumsy when you're doing your stuff, or like, is there anybody you've dealt with who's like really clumsy and like forgets things? Like, how does that work?
No, I have a friend who he doesn't really climb with us anymore, just because like he's kind of fallen out of it. But like, definitely he was like a super clumsy and forgetful person, and like we always had to like double, triple check him and make sure he was good. But I mean, like, as long as you're tied in and you're clipping, it's like you're safe, like for the most part. So like, it doesn't really matter how clumsy of a person you are, and like, you know, falling's not that big of a deal. Yeah. Maybe it was 50 years ago, but like today, like it's like you can kind of fall all day and it's not an issue. So you can be as clumsy or as not clumsy as you want. But I mean, I feel like a very clumsy person. I'm constantly dropping things and like tripping all the time. But
oh my gosh, did you ever like drop anything like important like while you were like? Do you have to like? Are you supposed to carry stuff? Like, can you carry like your phone and stuff with you like while you're?
I don't carry my phone.
That's crazy.
That'd be crazy.
People do that for like bigger climbs, but like I've never really done anything like that. So mainly just like, you know, you're not up there for longer than like 10 minutes. Oh. So like you just come back to like. Because it's only 80 feet or whatever, so you just kind of basically just running up it, and then you just get lowered back down to the ground. So, yeah.
I'm thinking this is like, I don't know why I'm like related to like Mount Everest. Like,
people, the thing is like, that is a thing you can do in climbing. We don't really do that, mainly because we're on the East Coast, and there's nothing to do that with on the East Coast, because it's just no big mountains. I'm sure someone's going to be like, oh, there's a million, but like, yeah, it's just like, people do that. I'm definitely interested in that. But like most climbing you're going to do, especially in a gym, but then like even outside, it's like, it's going to be no more than 100 feet. You're going to be up there for like 10 minutes if you're working something, but like if you're up there for more than like 5 minutes, like that'd be shocking. And most of the time you're spending on the day is like on the ground, with just your friends and stuff. So
nice.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. All right, so Tyler, before we let you go, is there anything else that you would like the audience to know about your club?
You should come out because it's free and you can try rock climbing. I guess like the biggest thing is like no experience is necessary at all. And if you've ever thought it was at least kind of interesting to go rock climbing, you should just come because it's fun to check it out.
Nice.
And do you guys have an Instagram?
Yeah. I think we're just Rowan Rock Climbing on Instagram.
Rowan Rock Climbing on Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for joining us for this episode of Club Chat. We can't wait to meet more clubs on campus. If you're interested, check out the show notes for this episode or click the link in our Instagram bio. See you guys next time.
Hey!